everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you are back, as always, welcome back. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you're new or aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means we're going to spend a little time together today chatting and hanging out. And I'm going to be doing a diamond painting and catching up on life and all those sorts of things. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me if you like. It doesn't have to be diamond painting. You know, you can do any kind of crafting or, treating this like a podcast if you're running errands or whatnot. Whatever works for you. Just happy to be getting to spend some time with you today, like I do about every Monday morning is when these videos go up, but whatever you're watching is fantastic. So like I said, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting. Let me give you a quick rundown of what I'm going to be working on and with today. I'm going to be working on the kit Magic Arcades from Diamond Art Club and the artist Miss Holly. Here's the original artwork. It is so adorable and has a cuteness factor that was a must-have in my life right now. So I've completed the first couple of rows down here, and we're going to be working on the section here with, I think this is our little ferret, little otter, our little creature right here. And I think we're gonna get into the frog and, some of this little capybara. That's adorable. So I think we're in this section with these animals is what we're gonna be getting into today. And then I'm gonna be using some accessories that are mostly from, I have a couple things from kind of new or recent small shop hauls or products I haven't tried before or tried in a while. So this is from a recent small shop haul. This is a pen from Treasured Diamond Designs. And so I'm going to be using this today, which I'm excited about. The tray is from Munimade, and they're not a new to me shop, but there's a lot of multi-placing in this kit, so I thought I'd go grab one of my big trays. Then I thought I would just mix it up, and I went diving into my patty wax stash and pulled out this Citrus Spritzer scented patty wax brick. I'm going to use that in my single placer. And then I haven't used this before, but this is putty from the Creativity Squirrel. So I am excited to get to try this out. I'm probably going to use it in my multi-placer today. And then this minder, it's last day of Pride, so I thought that I would go ahead and pull this out because this is just a good reminder. This was made for me by a really, really sweet and thoughtful viewer, and several years ago now, and I still love and cherish it to this day. I have it. It's magnetic. It's a minder, and I have this attached to. I have a little set of metal shelves, like a little display, and there's metal pieces on it that I have this attached to, and it's always up there. So it's a good reminder. But let me go ahead and get my pen loaded up with wax and putty, and we can go ahead and get started with our project today. This is like, did they like hot glue this in? This is like really in there. Okay, no. So yeah, the pen, I guess, is the only thing that's from a totally new to me shop. I've bought from the Creativity Squirrel before, but I haven't used their putty. Okay, that is like, I don't want to break this. I can't fit the metal placer in there, and I really don't want to break the pen. That is really unusual. That's sticking out, but it's like kind of working. I'm gonna try this as is, and we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope that's gonna be okay. Yeah, okay. That is not usually how it goes with pens. Usually the multi-placer will be a little bit loose, and I have to use washi tape to help it fit snugly in there. But apparently it's rather snug instead. So I think I've had this brick for years. When I first started diamond painting, I think Patty Wax was one of the only kind of wax alternative shops that was out there. Now there's a lot, and I bought a lot. They used to sell out like as quickly as they would restock. They would completely sell out every time. Now it's a little easier to get your hands on. There's a lot of good scents in there, but I bought a lot that first year in particular. Okay, this says it's scented like chocolate. It literally smells like a Tootsie Roll. A lot of these scented putties and waxes just smell so delicious. They're so tempting to eat. I'm just gonna go right in the middle here and see. Oh, that did not come out. Hold on. Okay, there's a couple of different ways you can load up putty. You can do it like that, or you can kind of just break off a piece and kind of roll it like you would Play-Doh into a snake and then tuck it in the multi-placer. Okay, I think that's going to be okay though. We'll keep this nearby in case I need to fill it up anymore, but all right. And then let me grab my handy This is my little ceramic pen knife here. I've got this opened up. Oh, we're just barely in frame. Okay. And then we'll get this opened up. This did come with the perforated plastic cover. I 100% ignore the perforated plastic, the lines on it. I mean, I like to make sections that are the size that I want to make them. And I kind of cater them to the size of the kit and how much confetti there is and whatnot. So yeah, you could see like that's where the perforated line was, but I'm just ignoring it. And I still use washi tape to washi off my sections. Yeah, that's just a... I like how I do things, and if you love the perforated plastic, I love it for you, but it's not for me. So anyway, hello and happy Monday. I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start and that you had a great weekend. It is, as almost always, what am I hearing? Is that my cat or my kids? That's forever the question, cat or kids. I know it's not in frame. I want you to be able to actually see the diamond painting and not the accessories. So, okay, I think we'll be okay. Once I start getting drills down, you won't have that glare either. Yeah, so it's Sunday night, as it usually is when I sit down to film these with you. And the kiddos are in bed. I am kind of closing out a weekend and getting ready to kick off another week of summer, and really just happy that I get to sit down in some quiet and film a WIP and Chat and do some diamond painting with you guys. I really do look forward to these WIP and Chats. It feels like a chance to decompress. It feels like it's a chance for me to check in with you and you guys to check in with me. I always enjoy reading your comments each week and hearing just what you've been up to and how you've been doing. So I started this project a few days ago. If you watched last week's WIP and Chat, you would have heard me mention about how I was all excited and planning to work on Hades and Persephone. And no, this is not Hades and Persephone. I really thought that kind of the colors and the overall vibe of this kit were more what I was looking for at the moment after all. And I wanted to make sure I was working on Hades and Persephone when I was... Where did that drill even go? It just went flying. I was picking up a drill and it just pinched it and apparently went somewhere. I can't be the only person that happens to. Anyway, I just want to save Hades and Persephone for when I'm really feeling like good about working on it. So I was instead looking through my stash and going, okay, I'm really itching to work on something that just is very, very happy. And the color palette in this and one or two other kits really was catching my eye, and were the ones that I had it narrowed down to, and this ended up being the winner. It's a recent new release from Diamond Art Club. I don't know off the top of my head if it is currently in stock on the website. I think, I don't know, I'm not even gonna guess. I don't know. But this is a really cute one. I don't know that, have I not completed a kit from Miss Holly, the artist, before? I have several in my stash, but I don't think I've actually completed any yet, so this will be my first. All the cute little critters throughout are just, they're so adorable. They're so cute. I've loved the ones that I've gotten to work on so far. I finished the fox and part of the little snake friend that's down here in the corner, and there's like a little bunny. And the special drills are really cute in this one too. But I don't know, are you guys, are you like this as well, where you are more of a mood diamond painter in terms of, do you really reach for and decide to work on kits based on what sort of mood you're in or what you're kind of looking to get out of a diamond painting at the moment? I think I've brought up this question before here in past WIP and Chats, but like, do you deliberately seek out certain styles or color palettes because you're looking for a pick-me-up or something that energizes you, or I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, what's another example of like an emotion you could work through with diamond painting? I don't know. Do you have like a rage diamond painting or something like that? I certainly feel sensitive to that sort of thing, and I find that I tend to have very strong associations with diamond paintings and associating them with everything from something as not a big deal, like, oh, I remember this was the TV show I was watching at the time. Like, for some reason, I was really strongly associating, when I pulled up my cross-stitch conversion project to work on at one point, I immediately started remembering I was watching the show Suits at the time when I had worked on the last panel, and it was months later, and that was still what immediately came to mind when I started working on it, as I started thinking, and it just like kind of came to mind. I was like, shouldn't I be watching Suits right now? And then I've had other diamond paintings I've worked on when I've been going through something that has been like more serious. I mean, I've been diamond painting for over 4 years now, and so that's like a lot of life to go through. And so like there's a lot that I sort of have been diamond painting through. Like when my oldest had like emergency abdominal surgery a couple years back, and I was in the hospital for a week, and it was like really scary and really traumatic. And the diamond painting that I worked on in the hospital, like, because I brought that with me to sort of help with regulating, and also just to sort of have something to do that wasn't necessarily staring at my phone while I was sitting in the hospital room with him. And just still, it feels like even when I go to look at my logbook of that diamond painting, I'm immediately taken back to and have those emotions kind of come to the forefront of that time. And other things that it's like, oh, I remember like there's something really like happy and exciting that was going on at the time. But you know how they say that smells will take you right back to a particular, time or memory as well. I don't know. I find that I experience that sometimes with diamond paintings. And so, when I was just not feeling working on Hades and Persephone, I was like, well, I don't want to forever associate sort of not wonderful feelings with this particular artwork. I like this artwork too much for that. I think what I need instead is something that is really just sweet and uplifting and light and joyful. And so that's why I found myself reaching for a kit like this one. So I'm just curious if any of you feel the similar sort of associations or moods, either that you have with past diamond paintings you've done or things you try to seek out to do when you're doing a diamond painting. I did finish my Jada Gem Shop comparison project of the 2 different rendering styles. The video that I just put up this past week was a check-in video. It wasn't showing the entire kit, completed kits just yet. That'll be hopefully soon. The next couple weeks are a little bit busy as far as videos that I'm hoping to have up for you all, but I would like to get that final comparison up for you soon, and I'm excited to share how that came together. But it was like an adrenaline rush when I finished those both and went, oh yay, this is so exciting, I got these done, because that was a little bit of a bigger project. It took me a little bit longer to get through, so I felt very, very accomplished to have that done, and hopefully it'll be helpful. I hope that people find it useful and informative. And then earlier today, I was sitting down and catching up on my temperature project for this year. I am working on a cross-stitch chart of a dragon that is a temperature dragon project. And just if you're not familiar, a temperature project is... you typically see it in like temperature blankets, I feel like, were maybe the first or main or popular thing that people will do temperature projects with. But you're basically in some form, you're having like a physical representation of temperatures throughout the year in your area. So for mine, I'm looking at what's the high temperature for the day in my city where I live. And then I've assigned each of the temperatures a specific DMC color. And then on the designated spot on that chart for that day, I will place the color that goes with that temperature. So I am officially now halfway done with that. You'll see how it's looking when I share it in my month in review video. And I think like the theme of this WIP and Chat may just be like really frank and open honesty here. I'm not going to dress this up. I don't like how this project is turning out. Not this one in front of me, the temperature dragon. I don't it's a mix of things. Like, I almost want to say that I hate it, but I don't like using strong words like that. I really am not happy with it. And I want to be 100% clear though. It's not a problem with the chart, and it's not a problem with the quality of the drills or anything like that. It's my fault. This has been a learning experience and a half. I think that I created color ranges that were too small. So, for example, my temperature ranges are too small. So let me think of a good example. So, for example, my temperature ranges are only like 2 degrees. So it's like between 70 and 71 degrees is this color. Between 72 and 73 degrees is this color. Between 74 and 75 degrees is this color. And so on and so forth. And I thought I was kind of modeling it a little bit after the example colors or example color chart that was just something that the chart creator had provided, and it was like a rainbow effect, and I thought, oh, that would be really cool. So I decided to kind of roughly follow that, and I feel like I just have this really garish now because of how I modified it and tried to suit it to what colors were available with the special drill type I decided to go with, which was like a chunky glitter style, which I'm never using that as my special drill of choice for a temperature project again, because the effect of it just it muddies the colors a little bit for what I'm going for. I just am not a fan of that. But yeah, it just looks like a garish patchwork quilt, and not in like a cute way. Just for my personal taste. It's a personal taste thing too, the way it's coming out colors wise. My friend Elisa at Meg Arts and Crafts is doing the same chart and has a slightly different approach. Like the colors that she picked, like she left out a couple of color families entirely and is doing like the lows instead of the highs. Though I think that matters a little bit less than like just what ranges and colors you use. And hers is beautiful. Like hers is so pretty and so soft and dreamy. And I'm like, dang it, like that's the vibe that I wanted from this project, and I'm not getting it. And I've gone back and forth on whether or not to basically scrap it and start over, like pick new colors and everything, or to just power through, use it as a learning experience, and do something different with how I approach it next year. We're halfway through the year at this point, and I feel like I'm wanting to feel stubborn about this particular situation and keep going as is, like stick it out. Like, this is what I said I was going to do and how I said I was going to do it. I'm going to stick to my guns on this one and push through, and hopefully just maybe be able to let you guys learn from what my experience has been, and you can decide like, okay, if you want something that looks like this, here's what I did. And if you want something that looks different, here's what I'm going to attempt for next year, because I do definitely want to do another temperature project. But yeah, no, I'm not loving it. And I'm not going to pretend like I am. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, this happens, I guess, especially when it's something new. I'm just like, this is not turning out quite how I was hoping. It's not what I sort of pictured in my head, but oh well. You guys will see it in my month in review video, and you can let me know if you're like, oh, I see what you mean, or you're like, no, this is my taste, I love it. Every opinion is fine. But yeah, so there's been that. And then I just have this project going, and I'm anxious to be getting in my next Old Masters project. It should be coming in here in the next few days from Jada Gem Shop. It is going to be a John William Waterhouse piece. I got a crop of a particular artwork so that I didn't have to work on something in quite as large of a size. But I didn't want to let a year go by without working on a John William Waterhouse piece as part of Summer with the Masters. So you will see that. It'll just be happening in July instead of June like it normally has. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that in and being able to start on that. And at some point I'll come back to Hades and Persephone. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna I'm sitting on it for now. And as it is, it's probably a good idea that I ended up working on this piece because this will be a nice opposite from an Old Masters kit, especially one from Jaded Gem Shop, where I know it's going to have a lot of confetti. The color palette is probably going to be a lot more neutral, and so I feel like this will be a good palette cleanser from that big comparison project, and give me a nice breather before I dive back into all the confetti. But yeah, Summer with the Masters is still going on through the month of July. I've been chatting with a shop that, even though we're halfway through the event, I've been chatting with them about potentially coming on to officially a sponsor in July, and maybe we'll have more on that soon. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to share any details because we are still figuring out the details if this is gonna move forward or not, but that could be something that's fun. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I should also be finishing my Disney Craft Buddy mystery stickers here in the next couple weeks too. I should be getting in my last sticker here in the next couple of days, and I'm gonna go through and work on finishing that album and getting to wrap that up and call that a finish too, because that one has been, that's a project that's been ongoing on and off for quite a while, because I think I started doing those stickers last year. I think it was last year. So fall last year maybe. So yeah, just tying up some loose ends here and there. And yeah, that also makes me think of how there's so many different things that I would really love to be doing videos for. I feel like I have just a list a mile long of like, and it's especially things I'm like, oh, this would be great timing, like right now, to do a video on this, or to quick do a video on this thing, or put together a video for this, and oh, this needs to go up soon. But I only have so much time, so I'm trying really hard to figure out what to prioritize, what would be helpful, like what is really time sensitive, and what is okay to just wait. And it brings to mind that phrase of, if everything's a priority, then nothing is a priority. So I can't do every single video. I mean, I did a little bit the past couple weeks. There were a couple of days where I had 2 videos go up, and that is not sustainable. That's really tiring, and not something I feel like I can do by any stretch with any regularity. Every once in a while, but I have a pretty steady rhythm and schedule of doing 5 videos a week, and have for a while, and that works for me, and I'd like to pretty well stick to that as long as it continues to work. And yeah, so it's working within that and seeing how it works. With Diamond Art Club not having sneak peeks to send out for, it's been over a month now, or at least things have been coming in later. That's actually opened up some possibilities for me earlier on, but maybe things will be kind of getting back on track, but it is what it is. I know they're doing their best, and I'm just thankful that I get to share when I share. Oh my gosh, these colors truly just make me so happy. All the cute little animals and everything. So yeah, that's kind of what's been on my brain as far as crafting and content goes. I'm still working out some of the details as far as like drills and chills, and having that announcement to share and official details to share soon. And then I've been chatting with a couple of shops that have some new releases coming up that I'll get to maybe share an unboxing or a preview here with you guys too. So lots of really fun stuff I feel like coming up this month, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too. It has also been a productive week for me in terms of I put together a huge de-stash list, and I had quite a lot on there, and I was really trying to take a hard look at my stash and I had like a particular number of kits in mind that I really wanted to be able to get on that destash list, and it was a pretty high number. I'm like a little bit afraid to share it. I wanted to get 100 kits on my destash list, and I did, and I was trying to be really, really critical in terms of thinking like, am I really ever going to work on this kit? Is this something that for some reason I need to hold on to for another reason? Like there are some kits that are discontinued and would be extremely difficult to replace, that I held on to, even though I'm like, I'm not totally sure if these are my style and I'm going to work on these, but I don't want to take that chance because replacing them down the line could be very difficult. And I tried to get rid of a lot of kits that are just big because it's not realistic to have that many big kits in my stash. So I don't know. I feel as though it's not just going to free up physical space, which has been a bit of a stress point for me for some time, where I feel like I just am running out of space. I've mentioned here a number of times about how we live in a really small space. And it's my husband, my 2 young kids, and our 2 cats, and we live in Southern California, and so space is just really at a premium here, and I'm extremely grateful for what we have. But yeah, literally running out of space for where to put diamond painting related things. So not only am I feeling like I'm clearing up some physical space, but also it's like less clutter, like visually. It helps with my mind. My mind feels a little bit clearer. I feel like I'm going to appreciate and be more excited about what's in my stash because it has less in it. I don't feel like I could ever do a cold turkey detox for a number of reasons. As much as I've loved watching Lisette's approach and how she tackled like that over 2 years of doing a detox and she stuck with it, I think that's amazing. I've talked about her channel before, and I still really enjoy sort of the spirit behind it and have tried to take that into just sort of into consideration when I'm looking at shopping and something I might want to pick up, is I'm trying to look at it with a little bit more of a critical eye, and not, just fall into like, I want to have it all and I love collecting all the things. It's like, yeah, that's fun, but also it's, there's the practicality too, and the, I don't know, you don't want to get too carried away. So I feel like this is sort of in the spirit of that. It's like, well, I'm clearing out a lot. I'm trying to have less and focus on what really, really is going to bring me joy to work on and to reach for. And there are a couple of kits that it was going to be really hard for me to let go of. But then my mom mentioned that she was interested in a couple of them in particular. And I was like, oh, this is much easier for me to say farewell to, because I know that she's going to work on them and love them. I love that she's into diamond painting so much. And she's always sending me updates and stuff, and it's so cute and so fun. But it's been a lot easier to let some kits go that I've otherwise had like attachments to, because I'm like, well, it's going to her. I get to enjoy it vicariously through her. I know she's looking forward to even using some of them to like hang and decorate with, and so that helped. That helped with some of these kits. But yeah, there's just a lightness that comes with destashing. Now, there's also a whole heck of a lot of work that comes with destashing. The pulling the kits, because I have kits stored in various places, like pulling them and then packing, weighing, and measuring them, and then printing the label. It's like taking them to UPS is the easy part. It's like the pulling, packing, which often involves Frankensteining boxes to fit just right. And then, measure, weigh, put it into pirate ships so that you get the, best rate or whatever. And, lather, rinse, repeat. But that's honestly is one of the things that makes me so reluctant to destash in general, is not necessarily getting rid of the kits. It's the actual process of destashing and the work that goes into it. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So, oh, and I'm sorry, I don't think I said, but I'm guessing that some of you may ask as far as where it's posted. This isn't me trying to like push you or manipulate you at all. I promise this is more just like, oh, I should probably mention this because otherwise you're gonna wonder where. I wonder where I posted it. I posted it in my Patreon. I don't know that I'm gonna have it posted anywhere else at this point because it's a lot more manageable and with that kind of smaller group, and I don't know, they tend to be very, very, very patient and understanding and whatnot, and it's a lot lower stress for me than if I were trying to post in like a big Facebook group or something. But I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to go do a thing. I mean, there weren't like any big unicorns in there or anything, so I'm not trying to tease you. Anyway, so that's where it was posted in case you were going to ask. But look at our little friend that's coming together. It's so cute. I like that this kit has color blocking in it too. It's moving right along. I'm having a good experience with the pen and the putty, and the wax too. But that's no surprise. I've used patty wax a lot, so it's what I've come to expect with patty wax. It's a solid option. As we're getting into the summer months, though, I'm curious if you found that some of your waxes or putties or whatever you're using in your pens, are they behaving differently if you are in an area where it's now summer and hotter? Because I know I can't be the only one. I've seen some others talking about it, where they're saying like, oh my gosh, my putty it's so soft. It's like melty now. I've heard some people suggest, I haven't tried this myself because it hasn't been an issue just yet, but I've heard of people having good luck with putting their putty in the freezer for a little bit before they sit down to diamond paint, and that I guess sometimes helps, but I haven't tried it myself, so you'll have to let me know if you've tried that and you found it to be helpful. But the putties and the waxes that I seem to reach for don't seem to be quite as affected by the heat, and I know which ones I have in my, stash of accessories that would be, and so I guess, excuse me, I just don't tend to reach for them as much in the summer months, but the good news is there's lots of options out there, and so you can hopefully find something that works for your climate. I feel like heat and humidity are the two things that seem to have like the biggest impact on your accessories and what works the best. This color. But yeah, I mean, trays and pens, thankfully. Those don't get fussy with the heat. What symbol did I grab again? An hourglass. Perfect. Our little frog mouth. Oh my goodness. So cute. How many times have I said cute just in this video? I'm not sorry. Not sorry. Sorry that I keep yawning, by the way. I've been dealing with some health stuff. I've talked about it before. I have endometriosis and some other things that essentially result in me being pretty anemic. And just like right now, that is kind of at peak for me. It's actually about the worst I think that it's ever been. I have just felt a level of fatigue that's been really a lot. Not to be like a huge Debbie Downer, but I even like looked and I was really feeling it yesterday morning is when it was really hitting me. I even like looked in the mirror. I was like, oh, my lips have like very little color. This is great. So Adam was helping me. He was like, let's sit down. Like, let's really try to find some ways that like you can be getting more iron into your diet because it's like an iron deficiency anemia thing. And he was being really supportive and sweet with that, which I appreciated. And I do have a medical procedure on the calendar that will, I'm not going to get into it because it's a bit TMI, but basically it'll help with the reason that I am so anemic, but that's not on the calendar until October at the moment, just because of how, it's not like a emergency surgery. It's just one of those things that it's like, oh, my doctor only does surgeries like, like one day a month or something. And They did have a date available in August, but it was like the day after my kids go back to school, and I just was like, I can't do it then. Like a couple more months will be okay, but I can't have that the same week that it's like back to school week for my kids, because that's always a huge transition. It's a whole thing. My kiddos having like special needs and just what that all looks like. I cannot add in being in, having some recovery time on top of that. So plus like with October, the timing, my mom can fly out and help with the kids and everything with Adam. And so, yeah, we're just going to go with October. But yeah, the fatigue is peaking. And so that's why you might hear more yawns from usual more than usual from me. But that also means, unfortunately, that like my headaches and migraines are kind of picking up a little bit more, and those are pretty strongly related to my anemia as well. As I'm just a mess. I'm a mess. I'm not going to. I can't sugarcoat it. I feel like that would be really dishonest. And as much as it may seem like things are pretty rainbows and butterflies and unicorns over here, a lot because I try so incredibly hard to focus on the positives. Like I'm always going to try to look for the good in things. I'm always going to try to give like the benefit of the doubt, and to let this be a space that's really hopefully uplifting to you and is a break for you if you're going through it. This past week was hard. It was really, really, really hard. So how can I put this? Adam is now looking for a job again, and I have been in the thick of it, just feeling incredibly stressed and upset with kind of what's been going on, and working on trying to get research various, programs and get things taken care of, like healthcare and everything. And it's been a really, really difficult week. I've been in my feelings a lot, but also trying to focus on like what I can control, and like channel listen to, okay, let's do what we can. Let me get a D-stash squared away. Let me get health insurance like applied for, and like research this program and see if we will qualify in X, Y, and Z. And it's been heavy, it's been emotional, and I it really sucked to have to like send a message over to my therapist, because I have I'm a huge proponent of therapy and taking care of your mental health and mental wellness here. I think talk therapy is one of the very best things that anyone can do, and I joke, not so jokingly, that I feel like really everyone should be in therapy, because we all have stuff to work through, and having kind of that neutral person that's outside of the situation that can help you unpack these things and what you're going through, I feel like is so crucial and can be so healthy. But having to message my therapist and be like, I can't have an appointment this week because I'll let you know as soon as we have insurance and stuff figured out, and this is going on. And I'm like, this is really a week when I could have used this. But it's I'm just in kind of crisis management mode, and I'm just hoping that job hunting looks a lot different this year than it did last year, and the circumstances behind it are different. Guys, the tech sector is rough, and California is an at-will state, which means they don't really have to tell you a lot about why they might decide to let you go, and it sucks. It really, really sucks. So I am sorry to not be like super light here in this part of the WIP and Chat. I'm going to try to keep the woe is me like to a very small minimum. I am very much a hunker down person for the most part when it comes to when I'm struggling, when I'm like dealing with stuff and stress and emotional stuff. I tend to, I don't want to outside of like talk to other people about it, really, in terms of like sitting down and having conversations with people about it, because I don't know, I feel like I so strongly feel like I have to manage other people's emotions. Like I'm so keenly aware of how other people are feeling and thinking, that I just feel like it's almost an added stress for me sometimes to be like having a conversation with someone about it, as opposed to like what we're doing here, where I'm kind of just, I mean, essentially, I'm talking to myself as I'm recording, as opposed to having a, actual direct conversation with you. But I don't know. I think that different people handle struggles differently. I know that a lot of people, and some of you probably, you're more the opposite, where you really do want to lean on the people around you and have someone to talk to about it and process through things with. And I'd imagine some of you are like me, where you're just like, I know, I hunker down, I silo, and I just gotta take care of my stuff on my own. I don't I don't know. That's just where I'm at the moment, and so I don't want to. I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of us are going through stuff right now. I've talked to a lot of people that have shared just various struggles or things that they've got going on right now, and I'm sorry that so many of us seem to be hurting or going through stuff, and I really hope that July is a month where things very much turn up, and that there are only better things ahead for us. And just know that I'm sending you lots and lots of positivity and prayers and good thoughts and vibes, and whatever you are needing, I am sending it your way. But thank you for just letting me share a bit about what I've got going on. Like I said, it would just feel very disingenuous for me not to talk about something that has been at the forefront of my mind. And that I'd just be trying to like talk around it would feel dishonest in a way. But I'll find a balance where I'm not overloading you with it. And I appreciate any good thoughts, prayers, vibes, anything you might have to send our way. But aside from that, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about the week and how things went with Micah being at summer school and Connor doing his first week at VBS. And long story short, they both went great. They both went really well. Micah was very happy to get to ride the bus, and there was a funny story with that though. So I put him on the bus. He was super excited. I noticed that, he's getting to ride the bus with our next door neighbor whose kiddo was going to summer school too. Our district has a lot of elementary schools, and only a few of those host the summer school program, and they kind of rotate each year which schools are going to be hosting summer school. And so, like our homeschool wasn't hosting it. Another one was. And so I wasn't surprised, like, we get to, that was the case. And it means, great, Micah can ride the bus. So I put him on the bus that morning, and I knew that the pickup time seemed like a little bit on the early side, but I wasn't, again, surprised, because this is kind of just how it goes with summer school sometimes. And like, where they're probably picking up kids from a lot of different places to take them all to this one site. Excuse me. But then, so everything went fine with actually getting him on the bus and everything. And then I get a call from the transportation department, the district transportation department, a couple hours after school had started. And when I answered and said, hello, I said, hi, so Micah's pickup time is going to be changing tomorrow morning. It's going to be this time instead of this time. And he's going to be going to this school instead of this school. And they, named the school that, they're like, he's going to be going to this school. And I was like, well, yeah, that's the school that he, like, I knew he was supposed to be going to. And then it just took me a second, and I paused, and I went, did the bus take him to the wrong school? Did he go to the wrong school this morning? Like, did the bus take him to the wrong school? And they were like, yeah, we bussed him over to the correct school. Like, we got him to the correct school. But yeah, he ended up at the wrong school this morning, and his pickup time's going to be a little later. It's going to be this bus number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, my friends, don't you lead with that? Don't you say, so everything is fine. Your child ended up at the wrong school, but we got him to the right school. Everything's fine, and we're going to make this change where now he's going to be on this different bus, and this is the new pickup time. No, it was like, were they not going to tell me unless I caught it? Like, I noticed the verbiage and said something and asked. I thought that was kind of funny. And I sent a message to Micah's teacher and was just like, hey, so I hear Micah had a little adventure. How'd he do? Like, once he got to the correct school, I hope he wasn't too thrown or upset. And his teacher was like, oh, no, this apparently frequently happens with summer school, where just the busing situation is a little chaotic and everyone always gets where they're supposed to be, but there's always like a little bit of chaos. And I was like, I mean, my kids have been doing summer school in the district for years and this has never happened. But okay, I guess most summers I've actually just driven the kids to summer school as opposed to taking the bus. But I think anyway, I just thought this is not my normal experience with the busing situation. But I was amused. You might think that I should have been like upset or, going off on the district, but I've had such a positive experience with their transportation department and everything, and knowing that they safely got him exactly where he was supposed to go. He was probably excited to get to ride another bus, and they did call me, even though I'm still wondering, were they not going to tell me unless I noticed and asked? I don't know. But no, I'm not going to like be going off on them or anything, because I'm just like, well, a one-time thing. If this were a regular occurrence, then, we'd probably be having a different conversation. But that's not the case, so I'm not going to throw a big fuss. And everything's gone really smoothly since then, thankfully. So Connor he absolutely loved this VBS. I am so happy. And I'm going to be looking at, instead of the other camps that we were planning for this summer, which thankfully I hadn't, paid for any of them yet. Instead of those, I'm going to be looking instead at some other like low-cost options, like other maybe VBS programs that are near us, because those tend to be a lot lower cost than your typical day camp. And he liked this one so much. I'm like, oh, great. Let me look at some others. But this one was really fun because it was, but they got to pick, I'm sorry if I mentioned this already last week, but they got to pick a specialty or like a focus. There were like a dozen different ones that kids could choose from, and Connor picked the sports and games one, and apparently loved baseball. He was so fun. When I would pick him up, I'd ask, like, okay, so what sports and games did you play today? And they usually had played 2 or 3, and it was different ones each day. And he decided to start giving me rating scales, like out of 10, what he'd rank the various sports. And he was like, baseball was 10 out of 10. I loved it. They played dodgeball. He was like, yeah, that was maybe 4 out of 10. And his least favorite was soccer, which he had told me the day before. He's like, tomorrow I guess we're going to be playing soccer. And I don't like soccer. It's hard. I'm not good at it. And I was like, buddy, you'll have a different, teacher for soccer, and you'll be different people, and maybe this will be more fun. Like, it's okay if you don't like it, but let's give it a chance. Like, maybe you'll like it more this time than you did when you played at school in PE. And I picked him up after the soccer VBS day, and I asked him how it went. He's like, 0 out of 10. I still don't like soccer. I was like, oh, that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to like soccer. But apparently he really loved baseball, and I guess they hadn't played baseball in PE at school. And so now I kind of want to like poke around at him, and I kind of want to poke around and see if there's any maybe like baseball, like local things that aren't super intense, but something he can maybe participate in at some point. So I look into that. That could be really cute and really fun. But I'm so glad it went well. And I am looking ahead to, okay, what are some other kind of alternative options we can do, like other VBSs in the area during this summer. So that all worked out for the best. After I was kind of beating myself up last week about dropping the ball with the day camp, like the full day camp through the city, like it really did work out for the best that didn't work out. So maybe this was more meant to be, and I'm glad he had such a good time. So this week he'll start swim lessons a couple of days a week for a few weeks, and he's pretty nervous about how that's going to go. I think it's just a big unknown, and he's worried. He's like, what if I don't have like enough air? And I'm like, buddy, they are going to want you to make you feel safe and comfortable. You're going to have enough air. This is, they're going to be right beside you. I don't know if I'm going to be in the pool with him. I would assume no, but like it's going to be. They are going to want to teach you how to feel safe and comfortable in the water. It's not supposed to feel scary, or they're not going to make you do anything that you feel unsafe doing. So we'll work through it. Hopefully you'll feel more comfortable once we're there and he actually gets the chance to see what this will be like. But yeah, that'll start this week, and Micah will still have more summer school, and yeah. So Adam and I had our 14th wedding anniversary this past week, and we stayed in and we watched the Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the documentary, the one that they released as part of kind of their 20th anniversary of the show. And we just had a little date night in. It was great. It was quiet and relaxing, and just what we needed after kind of a hectic and emotional few days. So that was fun, and it was fun to sort of reminisce. And I was looking back through some of our wedding photos and whatnot, and thinking, my gosh, we were babies. We were such babies getting married. That's what feels like such a young age in retrospect. But I'm really glad that I get to lean on him, and that we lean on each other through the hard stuff and the good stuff. It had me reflective in I think a good way. So happy 14 years to us. And then as far as, that's a good little transition into what I've been reading and watching and listening to. Reading wise, I'm in a bit of a slump that I can't quite kick, and I'm just kind of letting it be. It is what it is. Bug will come back at some point. It always cycles back around as far as reading goes. So nothing new to report on that front. As far as watching goes, we watched the finale of Deep Space Nine, the documentary for Deep Space Nine, like I mentioned, and we're currently trying to decide what to watch next. We have what feels like an endless list of shows that we wanted to watch together, and I don't know where we're going to start. But one of these evenings, when we have a free evening, we'll sit down and we'll figure out, like, okay, what do we want to go with next? It won't be Star Trek, I don't think, though we were talking about watching one of the new Star Trek shows together. So maybe, but there's a lot of other shows on the docket. There's a ton of different Star Wars shows that have dropped on Disney Plus since the last time we were watching, and there's various other shows that have been out for a while and are definitely not still trending, but we originally had planned to watch together that maybe we'll try to get to. I don't know. We'll decide. But this is cute. Adam and I have done some movie nights with Connor because, it's summer break and stuff. And let him stay up a little bit late after Micah goes to sleep, because Micah likes his sleep. He really does like to go to bed at his usual time. But Connor's a few years older and loves getting to do some movie nights in with us. But he just this past week, Adam introduced him to the animated series, the Batman animated series, the one from the, I don't know, was it the 80s or 90s, with Kevin Conroy voicing Batman and Mark Hamill voicing the Joker and everything. It's a good show for kids and adults, but Adam introduced Connor to it, not sure what he would think, and Connor is so into it. It's the cutest thing, and Batman is Adam's favorite superhero and franchise and everything. And so for Connor to be excited about it and be asking Adam, when can we watch Batman again, Dad? I want to watch Batman with you. The way that Adam's eyes lit up, it's just, my heart melted. It was so cute. So cute. I love that they get to have that, shared love of Batman together. So yeah, they've done a couple of Batman movie nights, and I sat in and watched a little bit with them the other night. And then listening to what I've been listening to, I've been listening in a little bit on this podcast Adam has been listening to, and sometimes he'll just play it without headphones in so I can listen in. But it's called The Next Conversation, and it's with a couple of guys that are basically doing a rewatch podcast of different Star Trek shows. But they, I guess, are going through Deep Space Nine at the moment, and so Adam has been pulling up some of those for me to listen to and enjoy, and it's fun to hear like other people talk about a thing that you're into and the things that they notice or don't notice, and so that's kind of been on my listening, in addition to my usual music playlist. But yeah, so that's my little what I've been reading, watching, and listening to update. And then as far as what I have in mind for videos this week, like I chatted with you about a little bit earlier in the video, I will have a lot coming your way here soon. I'll definitely have my month in a review video up here very soon. I have some unboxings to do. I have like I said, a shop or two that I'm partnering with some previews for new releases coming up. I just need to double check some of those exact dates. And then maybe something Drills and Chills related soon. Stay tuned for that and more details on that. And then, yeah, I have kind of a backlog of different kits from small shops that I had ordered, over the past month or two. And so I'll probably try to spread those out a bit now, but gradually work my way through some of those unboxings so you can see like the Muni Made kit that I unboxed with you and shared earlier today. Man, that kit is so tempting to go ahead and get up and work on right away. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, that cat is the cutest. I guess I'm just on a cute kick right now. I've said cute like 100 times in this video alone. And I've got all these adorable animals here in front of me. So I guess the cuteness is what my heart is craving right now, apparently. But anyway, we got through a good chunk of this section today, but that's going to wrap up our WIP and Chat. If you made it all the way to the end, how about an emoji of, let's say your favorite cute animal emoji that you have. It does not have to be one of the animals that's in frame, but just there's a cute animal emoji that you love. Let's go with that one. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you were working on while we chatted today. Is this the kit that you picked up or have on your wish list, or is it not quite your taste? And I hope you're at least still enjoying keep me company while I work on it. But thanks so much for watching, my friends. Thanks for letting me share, even when it's not all glitz and glam and happiness. I appreciate that this is a place where I feel like I've tried to really cultivate a safe area for us to not be okay. And I thank you for being a part of making it feel like it's a place for me to not be okay too. So I really appreciate it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that you have a really, really wonderful start to your week, and look forward to chatting with you again next week. I hope you have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, my friends. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.